Good afternoon. My name is Seungjoo Kim from the Korea universities, and then I'm teaching the undergraduate and graduate students in my universities. When I arrived here, I'm so surprised 3 times. First, I'm so surprised Code Blue has so many sponsors. And then the second time, I'm so surprised because there are so many audience. I heard that more than 600 people attend here today. So very congratulations to the staff of the Code Blue. And I'm so surprised at third because the staff of the Code Blue assigned 1 hour for my presentations. But unfortunately, in my presentations, there are no source code, or there are no demos, and there are no audio and video clips, just a text. So I'm so worried that I will quit my presentations a little bit earlier than expect. So don't blame me too much about it. In Korea, we have a special security situations because of North Korea. So our government promote so many human resource development programs about cybersecurity. I will talk about it. Today I want to cover 7 topics about it. First, I'll talk about the cyber security situations of South Korea, and after that, I will show you what our government and private organizations and academia devote themselves to develop human resource about the cybersecurity. And then I'll talk about other promotion and education programs of the South Korea. For a moment, let me introduce myself. Yes, I'm now in Korea universities, exactly Graduate School of Information Security of Korea universities. Our graduate school was established in 2000. It was for the first time is established in the area of the information security. And then our students in 2009 and successively 2010, our students won the championship of the DC3 Digital Forensic Challenges. And also in 2015, in this year, our team has a championship in the DEFCON CTF 2015. And especially in 2012, our university make a new education programs called as a Department of Cyber Defense. It is fully supported by military sectors of Korea. Our university, Graduate School of Information Security in Korea University, is the biggest one in South Korea. It's the leading institutions in research and education about cybersecurity. We have 17 full-time professors and 2 adjunct professors and other 8 visiting professors. Until now, more than 1,000 students graduate our schools, and they work in every place related with cybersecurity of South Korea. And especially, former president of our graduate school, called Jong-in Lim, was appointed as president special advisor for the national security. It's me. I'm Seungjoo Kim, and then this is in Chinese characters. And then I got a PhD degree about the cryptography at Seungjoo University. And from the 1998 to the 1997, from the 1998 and to the 2004, I worked in the Korea Internet and Security Agencies for the public sectors. In there, I was a team leader of the cryptography technology team and also the leader of the CC evaluation teams in KISA. After leaving KISA, I worked in the Seungjoo Universities for 7 years. Seungjoo University is famous because of the Samsung, because Samsung is main sponsor of the Seungjoo Universities. So Seungjoo University has a department of semiconductors. All of the students of that department has a full scholarship from Samsung, and after their graduations, they should work for 8 years in Samsung Electronics. From the 2011, I worked in the Korea universities and teaching students about some information security. And also from 2011, I organized some hacking group called Haru, and also I organized an international security and hacking conference called the CQ Inside. Yeah, for a while, let me introduce you about the Haru. Haru is established in 2011, and Haru is an acronym of the Hackers League Union, or the Hackers Are Us. I think that this group, this Haru, is one of the biggest association of underground hacking groups and communities in Korea. This man, where is Ryan? Hey, where is Ryan? The man over there is president of this group, Haru. And we also have more than 8 honorable members. Blackpool Security Company and also the Gray Hash claimed to be established for offensive security researches. And CN Security is very famous for China information security providing service. And also the Hack School is the biggest online learning site for elementary and middle school and high school hackers. They can start to learning hacking technologies from that site. And also we have other famous companies such as INECOP and SEWorks and also NSHC. I heard that, where is Mr. Her? Yeah. Mr. Luis is the CEO of this company, and I heard that NSHC is one of the sponsors of this Code Blue. Yeah, also I'm responsible for the security analysis and evaluation labs. And I made this in 2011. Fortunately, I have so many good students in my labs. I have a Lion, and then also Beastie is also my student, and then Silverdale, his real name is Min Pyo Hong, and CEO of the SEWorks, which is located in the Silicon Valley of the US. And other good hackers is in my labs. And and all of them is also the member of the Haru. Yes, let's start by talking about the cybersecurity situation of South Korea. In Korea, cyber warfare is not a virtual one, it's a real. Because North Korea continues to expand its cyber warfare capabilities in every day. So in Korea, NIS, National Intelligence Service, is known as Korea CIA, monitors internet traffic for detecting malicious network activities. According to them, from 2010 to until the 2014, there are 75,000 cyber attacks against our country. Our government announced that North Korea attempts the millions of cyber attacks against our government and private corporations of South Korea. Especially 5 years ago, our country was hit by a computer virus that took over 20,000 computers and had them attack banks and television stations and so on. Our government comprehended that North Korea has a total of 6,800 cyber soldiers. Among them, 1,700 are experts, and other 5,100 members are support members. To narrow the gap between the North Korea and South Korea, our government have been devoting themselves to raise more and more security experts. Let's now talk about the South Korean government efforts to narrow the gap between North Korea and South Korea. We have 8 major government bodies related with cybersecurity. The important one is Blue House National Security Office. It is a control tower of the South Korea, and chief of these organizations is equivalent to the minister in rank. They oversees all the government's diplomatic and security policies and regulate them. And another important body of our government is NIS, National Intelligence Service. It is known as the Korean CIA. Exactly, NCSC, National Cybersecurity Centers under NIS is an important one. NCSC, National Cybersecurity Center of NIS, is a central point of government for monitoring and preventing cyber attacks in public sectors. And sometimes they cooperate with public sectors and military sectors, share the information and co-op for preventing cyber attacks and so on. And also, NIS has NSR, National Security Research Institute, as government-affiliated agencies. once NIS make some secret policies for government sectors, then NSR technically support for it. For the private sectors, we have a Ministry of Science, ICT, and Future Planning. Under the MSIP, there are two agencies. The first one is KISA, Korea Internet and Security Agencies. Once MSIP make a policy, then KISA technically supported. And also there is another agency called ETRI. It's not an agency. It's kind of a R&D institute. The difference between the KISA and ETRI is that ETRI more focus on the development of the fundamental security technologies of Korea. And also we have KCC. This work for the protection of citizens' personal information. Yeah, and also we have four more government bodies. The MOI, Ministry of the Interior, is working for the e-government system of the Korea. And FSC and FSS is work for the financial sectors. And also we have a Ministry of Defense, and we have a Cyber Command for military sectors. Cyber Command is launched maybe 2010 for defending the cyber attacks from North Korea. And SPO is for the exists for the investigation of the cybercrime. Yes, and then let's talk about the non-profit private organizations. We have so many private organizations related with cybersecurity, but the most important one is KIISC. This means the Korea Institute of Information Security and Cryptology. It was established in 1990. It works for promoting the academic researches, like EICE of Japan. They host several international academic conference. Among them, the famous one is ICISC and WISA. ICISC focuses on the cryptography, and WISA focuses on the system and network security. And also we have a KISIA, KISIA, that is a representative body for the more than 157 security companies inside of Korea. We have more than 150 security companies until 2012. KISIA, KISIA do the many things for promoting their interest of the information security industry of South Korea. Oops. Sorry. Yeah, and also we have a concert. Concert means Consortium of the Computer Emergency Response Teams. It was established in 1996. The motto of the concert is that I will protect my information by myself. the company members of the concert co-work for sharing the cyber threat informations and then some correspond against these some cyber attacks of South Korea. And also we have other many non-profit organizations, but the important one is Haru. Yeah. Yes, let's talk about the regular school education program of South Korea. I'll talk about the university and college education programs. In the undergraduate schools, we have 36 departments related with cybersecurity. And also in the graduate schools, we have 32. The number of that is increased in every year. In case of a university, Seungjoo University established the first cybersecurity undergraduate program in South Korea. And after that, it has been growing quickly every year. Recently, most of the universities adopt some kind of a joint educational programs with security companies. Most of them have a full, most of the students of that joint program has a full scholarship of guaranteed employment. That means that after their graduations, they should work that supported companies. And also we have colleges. We have 8 colleges related with information security. The difference between the university program and the college program, university program has a 4-year course, but college has just 2-year course. Yeah. 2012, the year 2012 is very special. In 2012, our government was inspired by Israel's Talpiot program and made Department of Cyber Defense under the Korea University. It is a joint educational program with the Korean Army, exactly Cyber Command. All of the students of that department has a full scholarship. And after their graduations, they should work for the work in the military sectors for 7 years as a senior lieutenant. In Korea, top 1% of students in the National College entrance exam can have admissions. Yeah, let me introduce about Israel's Talpiot programs. Talpiot means best of the best in Hebrew. In 1979, Israel set up the Talpiot program to train the nation's most promising high school graduates for developing some high technology weapons. They spend 3 years in study and should work for 6 years in the military service. Our program, Department of Cyber Defense of Korea, was inspired by this target program of Israel. And also, our students can get the financial support for startup after their obligations. Our curriculum deals with many aspects of information security, especially we teach the students about the patriotism and the strong work ethics, because hacker is like a double-edged sword. In 2015, this year, the team called DEFCON get a first prize at DEFCON Syria. Team DEFCON is comprised of 8 students from Department of Cyber Defense and 3 members from the Korea-based security companies, and other 2 members came from Korean students who studies in the US. Besides regular school education programs, we also have non-regular education programs. We have 2 kinds of non-regular education programs. The first one is government-driven cyber education programs, and another one is private company-driven education programs. Again, the government-driven education programs is divided by 2. The first one is education and training program for public officers, and the other one is for the non-public officers, for ordinary citizens. And also we have private company-driven security education programs. Until 2014, there are 25 private cybersecurity training programs inside of South Korea. There are 2 public-driven programs for public officers. The first one is CISTAC. CISTAC is managed by NSR. NSR, as I said before, NSR is a government-affiliated agency under the National Intelligence Service of Korea. And another one is KISA Academy. It was managed and organized by KISA, Korea Internet and Security Agencies. This is located in Daejeon, and then this is located in Seoul, capital city of the Korea. And also we have government-driven education programs for non-officers, non-public officers. The first one is a K-Shield program managed by KISA. It was established at 2013, and it aims at raising very highly skilled cybersecurity experts. Until 2017, our government planned to produce 5,000 government-certified experts. And we also the BOB program. This is one of the best one in Korea. BOB means the best of the best. And it is organized by KITRI, KITRI. KITRI means Korea Information Technology Research Institute. The special point of the BOB program is that it has very strong peer-to-peer mentoring programs. They have mentoring programs to connect with very skillful old hackers with young ones. Most of famous hackers in Korea, like Ryan, Beast, and Silverdale, and Mr. Lewis, all of them is a mentor of the BOB programs. Once entering into the BOB program, most of the students undergo the 8-month course in BOB. BOB program has take a form of survival programs. So the final 6 students will get around 17,000 US dollars per each person. A few months ago, I talked about the DEF call. First team of this year, DEF CON. In case of a DEF call, among 13 members, 10 members came from BOB students or mentors. And also our government managed the online learning site about the information security. Furthermore, in every year, our government spends so big money to enhance the IT research capabilities of University of Korea. During 2000 to the 2014, our government spent 415 billion Korea won for the enhancement of IT capabilities of university. In these ITRC programs, there are 3 or 4 centers. There are 3 or 4 slots for cybersecurity. We also have so many clubs. At school, there are lots of information security clubs. And also, from the 2006, KISA and MSIP have been encouraging and supporting security clubs at universities. Until 2014, 45 clubs are selected and supported by money, the equipment, and so on. Some clubs are very famous at the world-class CTFs. Psycho at Korea University, and Gon at KAIST, and Plus team at POSTECH. And also, we have so many hacking competitions or the conferences. Maybe more than 10 hacking conferences was held in Korea per year. We have 3 international hacking conferences. The first one is CQ Insight, and the second one is CodeGate, and the third one is POC. And we have the domestic conferences, HDCon, and White Hat Hacker Contest, and FishCon, and Incognito. CQ Insight is managed by, hosted by Haru and our university. And CodeGate is hosted by the Korean security company called Soft Forum. And also POC was organized by HNS company. And also HCon is made by KISA, and White Hat Hacker Contest is managed by Ministry of Defense and also the National Intelligence Service. And FishCon is supported by the financial sectors, and so on. Yes, let's look at more details. CQ Insight begins at 2011. It's hosted by hacking communities, Haru and Korea University and Cuscom and KISA. CQ Insight CTF winners are pre-qualified for DevCon CTF. And from 2015, CQ Insight began pontoon contest for the first time in Korea. We call them as a capture the bug contest, CTB. And another one is CodeGate. This is the first international hacking conference in Korea. And also the CodeGate city winners are pre-qualified for the DevCon. And another one is HDCon. This is mainly managed by KISA. This is the oldest one, but domestic. Yeah, well, as you know well, Korea is probably most activated information security country in East Asia. As you know well, human resources play a key role in cybersecurity. Especially our current cybersecurity situations push us to invest more and more in cybersecurity areas. But our program also have some problems. First, we should move from quantitative growth to the qualitative growth. We should think about that the life of the hackers after their graduations. All of the students graduate our program can get the real good job, like doctors and lawyers and so on. And also, we should change the educational goals. We should change the educational goals from the information security to the information assurance. For example, U.S. government have some special educational program called as NIAETP. That means that National Information Assurance Education and Training Program. This is a sample of the certificate. If the education program of college or the university of the US meet some criteria of the US government, then US government give them this certificate. In this certificate, we cannot find a word information security. Instead, we can find the word information assurance. It's not an information security education programs. It's a information assurance education programs. From the late of the 1990s, Department of Defense of US used the term information assurance. And information assurance deals with so many aspects, like security and safety and reliability and availability and so on. In IoT period, not only security, but also other aspects like safety or the reliability and also availability becomes more and more important. In this case, IA, information assurance, deals with all of these aspects. Drone should be safe from the hackers and from the errors and from the disaster and so on. So we should change our focus from the information securities into the information assurance. We need this one. To do this, we should collaborate with other experts in other areas of the computer science. So in every time I said to my students, you should become martial art players, mixed art, like a UFC. Yeah, it's all. I'd like to thank all of you for your attention and interest. If you have any questions, I'll do my best for answering them. Thank you. Yes.
前方の方、ご質問どうぞ。
Thank you. I want to ask you why North Korea came to have such a competence in cybersecurity, even though they have not rich cyber infrastructure in general.
Excuse me, you mean that? Why North Korea use
why a North Korea army or governmentally supported
cybersecurity
hacker came to have such competence in cyber cyber attack.
You mean that why North Korea government support raise up hackers?
Yeah, and
Is it right?
yeah, and I wonder why they have such a competence in cybersecurity compared with Japan or other developed country.
You mean that North Korea has no computers and no internet?
Yeah.
Yes.
Sorry for
Yeah,
my poor English.
No. I'm poor too. Whenever I talk about this, most of people ask about the same thing. The dependence on the IT technology, the South Korea has a big dependencies on the cyber infrastructures. We have so many internet banking systems and e-government systems and so on. But North Korea does not depend on the internet too much. So they can attack so many points of South Korea. But we cannot attack back because there are no computers and there are no internets and so on. And furthermore, most of the hackers from North Korea are located in Europe or China and so on. So because of that, North Korea government support so many hackers because that's very practical solutions for fighting against South Korea. And your second question is that there are no computers and internets in North Korea, but how they teaching about the hackings to the North Korean people, is that right? Yeah. I heard that there are so many good teachers from the Europe and China and so on. So they teach them about the information securities and hackings and so on. And also, there is a report that analyzed the computational competence of North Korea. In that report, the author pointed out North Korea as an alternative of India. You know that India is very strong for the software technologies and so on. So North Korea is nominated as an alternative. Is that okay? Thank you.
ありがとうございました。他にご質問ある方いらっしゃいますでしょうか。
Thank you. Sorry, no offense, but I would like to know why do you think Korea is the most active country in East Asia?
I think that one of the activist country.
Okay, thank you. Sorry for that.
他にございますか。この右端の方お願いいたします。
Korea has some so specific national strategy to improve employment for the young hackers or young engineers, because we also see the same situation, the same issues in Japan, because even though we have so good education as an educator to the excellent young people, but we also need more good employment for them. So any Korean And does Korea has any sort of strategic, any specific strategy to improve that situation?
Yeah. It's very important. We should expand the job opportunities, good job opportunities for trained hackers. But in case of Korea, there are very few global security companies. So our government try to make some security-specific department inside of the global company like Samsung and LG and so on, and then promote some M&As between the small companies in the field of information security.
So how Korean companies is motivated to have some sort of specific security department in this corporate? How Korean government motivates Korean companies to have security specific department? So because a company is also needs more cost, so spend the money.
Yeah, that's right. But yeah, that's very difficult one. So to the best of my knowledge, we don't have clear solutions about it. Just say again to the global companies. But in nowadays, Samsung makes some. I think that Samsung has some plan to make big divisions related with security. That division will monitor and control all of the part of the Samsung. I heard that.
Thank you.
他にご質問ございますか。広報の方をお願いいたします。
Hello, Doctor. I just have a small question about the education here. Do you think, in your opinions, for cybersecurity educations and general education in university, did you think any difference between these signs? Thank you.
Yeah, it's very good questions. Yeah, but I think that it's same. I think so. When we make Department of Cyber Defense, we combine two curriculums. The first one thing is from the computer science, and the other thing is from the information securities. So in average, in our universities, most of students should get 135 credits. But in case of a Department of Cyber Defense, doubles it. They should finish it more than 160 or 70 credits, because we combine the essential subject from the computer science and information securities.
So you mean students should be equipped with more domain knowledge?
Yeah.
And more practice?
No, I think that basic understanding about the basic technology in their domains is very important. But most of young hackers tend to just learn about the hacking tools and so on.
So hacking should have different side of the general knowledge, different view. Because sometimes we maybe try to build up a specific attack, but in general view, maybe it will be have a good defense. So sometimes students, they have some characteristic about that we say abnormal. But
yeah, but in case of in our case, in universities, we cannot teach about the domain-specific knowledges because we cannot see the detailed data about it. They should learn about it after their graduations, like an intern of the medical sectors. So I think that in the education program about the information security, it is very important to make some relation with some internship of specific companies about information security.
Okay, I got it. Thank you. Thank you very much.
あとお一方、お隣の方ですかね。お願いいたします。
I'd like to ask about the salary of the white hacker. So, in case of Japan, I think the white hacker, the security engineer, is a kind of volunteer because they can't have many salaries. So, but in case of security, I think the money is very important topic. So, how is in South Korea?
It's very good factors also in South Korea. Salary is a salary is a very important point when take a job. But we should ask to ourselves that can the hackers becomes a professor in good universities? We should consider about the another opportunities rather than good salaries and so on. I think so. Is that okay?
はい、それではこのセッション終了とさせていただきたいと思います。どうもありがとうございました。
どうもありがとうございました。